It's been a while since we played that music and that graphic to start a video. That's because we have the first ever commit for Matt Campbell at Penn State. I'm Thomas Frank Carr, Ryan Snyder, a man who needs no introduction, which is a cliche, so I'm just going to give him a very long-winded introduction. Now I'm going to go the opposite way. Ryan Snyder started out as a child and grew to love Penn State football. And then sometime in his teens, I'll truncate it. Hey, Ryan, how you doing? How's your holiday season going?
Good, man. It's getting busy, right? We knew the surge was going to come at some point. I was unsure if it would be as soon as it was, right? Just because, look, Matt Campbell's clearly still putting together a staff. There's a lot of things going on. We're starting to see more offers go out, and clearly as these guys start to get in place as far as assistant coaches and all that, they're ready to hit the ground running. So it's not really surprising now that I look back on it that Deon Broomfield officially becomes a coach, and boom, here we are adding safeties and defensive backs to the class. And that's who Penn State got yesterday in Bryson Williams, 6'4", 180-pound safety prospect out of West Side High School in Omaha, Nebraska. As T. Frank said, the first under Matt Campbell. Of course, he was originally an Iowa State commit, but made it very clear that when he got the opportunity to come to a school like Penn State, he wasn't going to pass that up. So I think the quote yesterday called it like one of his top 3 dream schools of all time. His dad actually went to Nebraska, by the way, so I should have plugged on that. Where's Nebraska at, right? Maybe I'll
right
on that then later on.
He's from Omaha too. Like this is not like he wasn't an Iowa resident. He lives in Omaha, plays high school football for West Side in Omaha.
Mm-hmm. So look, they clearly see, they know these guys better than we do at this point. Let's say what it is, right? I mean, you've probably watched them more than I have at this point, T. Frank, as I've seen the highlights, of course, and things like that. But still trying to get to know him myself. I mean, he does have a 10.8 100-meter time, which is good. He has a bunch of 11s too, so we'll kind of say like he's a 10.9 kind of guy, right?
So I did the math on that one. He ran a averaged an 11. In the 100-meter dash for the last spring. Now, obviously, that's almost a year ago at this point, but that was I took the track times that were verified and available. I took those and averaged those out, so it's about an 11, which for a guy at 6'4", to have a PR best of like a 10.88, it's pretty good.
Okay. 139 tackles in 2 seasons, 7 tackles for loss, 9 interceptions. This year especially was pretty good. 73 tackles, 6 tackles for loss. 6 of those 9 interceptions came this year. So clearly had a good senior season. And this is a guy that obviously Campbell and his staff have been high on for a long time. Obviously what was the weight again, T. Frank? Like 170 or so. I mean, he's going to hit the gym, or 180, excuse me. Certainly going to have to put on some mass before he gets out there. But we've seen that for a lot of guys before. The question is just how does he translate, from West Side's a decent school. I mean, his coach has put some good players actually in the NFL. I know Xavier Watts played for his coach. There's a couple others too. So it's a good program. It's not like a small school or anything like that. But this isn't Iowa State. No disrespect, obviously the Cyclones out there, but this is Penn State is a much bigger program. They're going to be playing some big time schools. So just very curious to see how Bryson and as I think we're going to see here in the coming days more of these guys come on board. How they translate, but they certainly got a chip on their shoulder, right? Ready to prove it, and I think Penn State fans are excited about that.
He's got NFL bloodlines, right? His dad played in the NFL, I believe.
No, Jamel Williams was part of Nebraska's national championship run. I think he was on 2 of them in the 90s, and then went to I think it was Green Bay and Washington. I believe he played for a couple seasons like that. Yeah. So good family bloodlines for sure.
And you see that on the field. You mentioned tackler. We'll get into that in just one second. But one of the things that stood out to me is despite the fact that he's 175, 180, and so tall, he's a dude that is tenacious in the run game. And part of this, and this is going to be kind of a larger point, is at this point, the recording of this video, the writing of these articles, we don't know right now who the defensive coordinator is going to be. But I do think we're starting to see some of the DNA of a Matt Campbell recruit in this first player in the class, because we've talked a lot about size, athleticism, all those things. And I know it's just one player, but I'm trying, I want to take these things and understand the deeper context behind them. He's a really good football player. And I think that that's going to be, if Matt Campbell's words And what he talked about, it's more than just the stars. It's more than just athleticism. You don't take athletes. Josh Pate said he's not a guy that goes and just takes athletes and then makes them good football players. It's the complete picture for Matt Campbell. This is proof of that in the first commit that he has here in this particular class. And we'll get to that in just 1 second. In football and in finance, having a strong game plan makes all the difference. AJ Freedom Financial helps individuals build personalized financial strategies that align with their goals, timelines, and risk tolerance. From investment guidance and retirement planning to 401k rollovers, HSA assistance, and legacy and wealth strategies, AJ Freedom Financial offers thoughtful, one-on-one support backed by industry experience and a commitment to transparency. Whether you're starting to invest, planning for retirement, or you simply want a second look at your financial approach, AJ Freedom Financial is here to help you make informed, confident decisions. Schedule a no-obligation consultation today at www.ajffi.com. Call 866-383-6899 or email info@ajffi.com. Again, that's ajffi.com. Call 866-383-6899 or email info@ajffi.com. AJ Freedom Financial, helping Nittany Lions fans plan for what's next. Securities and investment advisory services offered through Gradient Securities, LLC. Arden Hills, Minnesota, 866-991-1539. Member FINRA, SIPC. Gradient Securities, LLC, and SEC registered investment advisor offers investment advisory services under the DBA of Gradient Wealth Management. Gradient Securities, LLC, and its advisors do not render tax, legal, or accounting services. Insurance products and services offered through AJ Freedom Financial. AJ Freedom Financial and Freedom Financial Insurance, LLC are not affiliated with Gradient Securities, LLC. You know what makes me laugh, Ryan? When I'm watching that commercial for AJ Freedom Financial, and I appreciate them being a sponsor here on the show, you can tell I was like, okay, this is me doing a commercial, because you're not supposed to talk as fast as Ryan and I talk when you're doing anything on air, honestly. Like, we talk way too fast. And I was like, okay, I need to do this how I was trained to do this for this very official commercial. And then, like, I actually talk at the pace of the at the end with the contact information and the terms and conditions. Ryan, tell everybody. So it's not just me talking into me, then me talking out of me. Tell people where they can go get your information about the Penn State football recruiting class in 2026.
Blue Whale Illustrated, of course. Appreciate everybody who took advantage of the coaching search signups, right? Our Black Friday signup you guys had. Of course, right now it's for $1. Join us, man. It's going to be a very, very busy 6-week stretch here. We haven't gotten to the transfer portal yet. They've only had one guy. I mean, well, of course, I guess Joey Schlaffer a couple weeks back, but Elliot Washington's the only one who's gone out so far. And I think there's a lot more that is going to come eventually, of course. And of course, a lot of incomings as well. I see people on the board already getting excited about this guy and that guy, saying he's going to go and how they would maybe fit Penn State, which is funny because we don't really know the defensive coordinator yet. I think everybody was getting excited about one player yesterday on the board. But yeah, man, come join us, guys. It's going to be a busy stretch. I mean, honestly, if this is going to be one of the busiest stretches, I think, from a recruiting, incoming, acquisition standpoint we've ever seen.
Yeah, it's actually interesting. I started with the offense because of the fact that there isn't a really defensive coordinator in position just yet. And it's been very interesting starting on the defensive side because there's some assumptions that we're going to make here. And one of them is that assuming this is also going to be a 3-safety defense. And that's going to paint some of the context about how Bryson Williams fits into the future of Penn State football. And so as a refresher for everybody, there are 3 safety positions, but one of them is the nickel. So like it is kind of a hybrid position. The difference in these 3 safety defenses under Jim Knowles and what we were going to get, I believe, under Tom Allen before KJ Winsing got hurt in 2024 is that nickel plays in the deep third. So like you can take that player, a normal corner plays zone coverages underneath, they play man coverages, but they don't play a safety role, meaning they don't fill into the box the same way, and they don't play zone coverages on that third level of the defense as much. So when we talk about 3 safeties, it's the same structure of the defense. It's just how they line up and what their responsibilities are. And the interesting thing about Bryson Williams is you mentioned 6'4", 170 pounds. He's a good tackler for his size, and I think that's going to get better with time. You see here the ball instincts. That's another thing. But more than just, so you wrap all these things up. He makes plays on the ball. He's a good tackler. Maybe not a strong tackler, but a good tackler. He's got good hands as a receiver. He makes plays after the catch. He even on special teams does this, where he's got run after the catch ability. And when he catches the ball as a defensive back, he turns into a receiver, an offensive player, one of those kind of stereotypical things. All this to me paints that he's a good football player and he's a good athlete. So maybe he doesn't have a 10.4, which at 6'4" would make him a 5-star safety, but he is a guy that has plenty of room to grow. And so there he has the unique ability of being a high floor player in the fact that I think he can play boundary or field safety. I don't know that he can play that nickel role where you're going to have him in man coverage more often, but he can play either of those positions depending on how big he gets and how fast he gets during this process. Because and there's a lot we're going to set up here, because the other thing is we don't know the strength and conditioning staff, what their preferences are, what their style is, how they perform. I've heard positive things, but I haven't really heard a whole lot about this Iowa State strength and conditioning program. So we don't know necessarily like what the upper end. If it was Chuck Losey, I would say like this guy is going to be 200 pounds. He's going to be a good athlete. He's going to maximize his speed while having the best size for his frame. Is he going to be 215 pounds? Is he going to be 210 pounds? Is he going to be on the lighter side? Because as big as he is a little bit narrow. I could see him maybe, if there isn't the right situation, maybe he's 190 pounds and he's a free safety. But there's a lot of versatility. There's a high floor, and I think a decently high ceiling here as well with the playmaking skills and the athleticism combined. To me, he reminds me of Zakee Wheatley a little bit. He's got great instincts as a receiver. He's got great ball skills. I think he's probably a little more aggressive than Zakee in the run game. And that to me is a pretty high floor comparison. A guy that was really productive over a couple of years at Penn State. Took a little bit longer to get to that full-time leader role. I don't think Bryson, I think Zakee, and we talked about this, and he talked about it, growing up at Penn State. This is a mature kid to start with. So I think it's a very encouraging first player for Matt Campbell at Penn State, because you've got the promise of a guy like Darryl Carey or Joey O'Brien. He's that similar side safety, and I think he's got similar enough athleticism. And I think he's a better football player than either of those guys right now. So really impressive way to go all the way around the world from Joey O'Brien, Darryl Carey, and now having Bryson Williams here in the class of 2026. Penn State still gets their big safety with versatility between the two classic safety positions.
Yep. Asked a source about him earlier today, actually. The quick synopsis was position versatility, could play inside or outside, as far as the box and all that goes. Great change of direction, closing speed, physical at the point of attack. That was the quick little text I got back from somebody who knows.
I love that.
Bryson better than I do at the moment. So yeah, we'll leave it at that. I think there's a lot more to come here too. As we said, if you guys are paying attention to the site on Saturday, Sean and I both put in 4 different RPMs for different former Iowa State signees. Go check out the site to see who it all is. But we certainly expect some more names to be coming here, I think, over the next 24, 48, 72 hours, something like that. So Bryson Williams, number 1, but he certainly is not going to be the last.
And just like that, we have, I love that we have independent verification on some of these things, that we get to get everything from 2 angles. And of course, we've got more of that intel over at BlueWhiteIllustrated.com. When those other commits make their announcements, you can check here on the Blue White Illustrated YouTube channel for more breaking news videos throughout the week. We might not get to it right away just because of how the life cycle is going right now with so many balls in the air, but we will be addressing all of these commits here on the YouTube channel. So make sure you subscribe here to the Blue White Illustrated YouTube channel. I always forget to remember to say that at the beginning of the video, because I'm so excited to get you the information you want. You're here to get Penn State football information, and also to listen to Ryan's soothing voice on the YouTube channel. So for Ryan, I'm T. Frank. We'll be back next time. There's breaking news from Penn State football recruiting here on the Blue White Illustrated YouTube channel.